Okay, friends, are you ready to get into the meat of the party? So, I have a few goals when in my business, and we might not share the same goals. So, what I do might be different than what you decide to do, and that's totally fine. But I just want to let you know what my goals are so that you know what is driving my decisions as I do anything in my business, okay? First of all, I want my business to be duplicatable. So I have a team of ladies and I want them to be able to do what I'm doing without a lot of extra thought, without a lot of extra work on their parts. I mean, Facebook parties are not just a walk in the park. They definitely require work and energy and time on your part. It's not some get rich quick or some easy cash. You're working at Facebook parties just like you work at a home party. It's just different, okay? But I wanted to make sure that I was doing something, and my goal and all the changes that I make or anything that I try is to make sure that I can pass it down to my team and they can do it without a big complicated, they don't need some big complicated training on it, okay? So when I make decisions, I want it to be duplicatable. I also want it to be cost effective because my goal is to make money, not to be spending money. So for different things like the Hostess of the Month Club, when I first started, I was sending out Happy Mail every month. Which was fine. I still do that, but I've made some changes so that I'm not spending as much postage. Okay, I'm not spending so much on postage. Just different things like that that I want to make sure that are cost effective. I watch my budget that I spend on 31 because I don't want to be spending a lot of extra money on things I don't need to. The other thing is that I want it to be efficient, right? I don't want to be doing things that are not efficient. I don't want to be doing things that are taking up a lot of my time. I have two little kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I don't have a lot of extra energy or time or sleep or whatever, sanity. And so I need to make sure that what I'm doing is very efficient so that if I get going and I get interrupted in the middle of something, I know exactly where I was at when I left off and I can get right back to it. I also need to make sure that I can keep track of what I'm doing. And so that I don't drop any customers. I want to be giving excellent customer service, and so I don't want to be forgetting about anybody. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of tips before we get into this on the things that I use to do that. One of the biggest helps for me has been a third-party scheduler. So I do not have the time to make sure, and I know this is different from some people, but I don't have the time or the memory to remember to go back and post every single day at the same time every day. I can't do that. That's not maintainable for me. And so there are two programs that I've used. One of them is Share, and the other one is Post My Party. And both of them have a free trial, I don't know, 30 days or 14 days or something like that. And I have links I can give you for both. And they both have an annual fee. But the difference for me when I think about this is that when it breaks down to maybe like $10 a month, something like that, and it is totally worth it for me to spend that money and to know that even if something happens unexpectedly and I can't get to my computer, that the posts are still going to go into the party. The ladies are still going to be engaging. They're still going to be have things to post on and to comment on, even if I can't get to my phone or to my computer. Okay. So that's something that's huge as a scheduler. You need to have a tracking system because you are going to be meeting people all over the US who you've never met in person before in face, and they're going to be commenting on things and you're going to be learning information about them. And if you cannot remember those things like I cannot, you need to have a tracking system. So I use a program called Trello, Trello, and it's free. It's on your phone or you can get to it from your computer, and it's a whole thing I'm not going to go into right now, but it's a way to track everything. That is where my life for my business is kept right now. So I can access that anywhere from any location from my phone. I can run my business. I've gone through the binders and I've gone through the note cards and all that kind of stuff, and I ultimately needed something that I could carry with me and access wherever I was at. And Trello is what I use for that. Okay. And the third thing that I was going to say, so Send, Share, or Post My Party, and then Trello. And the last thing that I would say is to make sure that you have a good system for follow-up. And I do mine through Trello. But whatever yours is, you just need to make sure that you're following up, because you're going to meet a lot of new people. And even if they don't buy from your party, or they don't book a party, or they don't join your team, you're going to want and need a way to follow up with them. No matter whether you're doing a home party or a Facebook party, you need to have a follow-up system, some type of follow-up system. Those are things that are super important, okay? So let's get into the meat of the party. This is how I run my parties. You do not have to do it my way. Like I said, you need to figure out what works best for you. I have played with different lengths of parties. I have played with different amounts of posts a day. I've played with different hostess coaching. I've played with a lot of different things. I've got to a niche that works for me. My hostesses love it. My customers love it. I have people joining my team because they enjoy my Facebook parties. So you figure out what works for you. Don't get discouraged if something doesn't work. Definitely give it a try for more than just one and see if it's a fit for you. And if it doesn't work, then tweak something. Try something different. Don't just give up and walk away, okay? So for me, my parties are a total of 7 days long, okay? The first day is a pre-party post. So those are engaging. Those are like, what's your favorite 31 product? And just things like that. Just something that's engaging to kind of get them, as people are RSVPing, when someone comments on a post on the party, it will notify other guests and it gets them into the party. It also is informative. I have a couple posts that I put into the party before I ever invite my hostess. And so the pre-party posts. Then I have 5 days of posts from me. I post 3 to 4 times a day, all through either Send, Share, or Post My Party. And they are done like morning, 7, 8-ish, and then 11, and then 2, and then like 7, something like that. They're not exact, but in that time range. And then the last day, I close the party out on it would be day 5, or day 6, I guess. So 1 pre-party post, and then 5 posts from me, 5 days of posts from me. And then the last day after the party has closed, I do an auction. And throughout the whole party, I do what's called auction bucks. You can call them whatever you want. I called them fun money for a while, and people were getting confused about whether they could spend the fun money on their 31 order. And I decided, you know what? I'm going with auction bucks. So on the last day, I have an auction, and the only thing that they can spend in the auction are the auction bucks they have earned by participating through the week. And they get those auction bucks through different things. They get auction bucks when they comment on a post. And different posts are worth different amounts of auction bucks. They get auction bucks for placing an order. They get auction bucks for booking a party, for joining my team, these different things. Now, obviously, they get more auction bucks for things that are more important to me. So they're going to get more auction bucks for posting, for commenting on a post about joining my team. They're going to get more auction bucks for placing a bigger order because I want them to support their hostess. They're going to get more auction bucks for things that are important to me. That's the key there. And the auction, I just put up simple things. The goal, remember, is not to spend money. So it's like key fobs. I do usually 1 key fob. I do a couple nail files. At the parties, it's based on the party participation and the party sales. So if it's a huge party, I'll do a snap bin or something like that. Key point here, I don't give prizes to people that do not participate in the party or place an order. I am not going to spend my money to send something to somebody that has not that's not willing to support their hostess. Now, I do give them an option. So if they let's say they don't have the money to spend anything right now, I will reach out, and if they win something, I will say, "Hey, congratulations! You were the winner for the auction, this auction prize. Your options are to either place an order for this party, and I'll add it onto that, or you can book a party, and I will give it to you then, or any order you place with me in the next 30 days, I'll add it onto that." The goal being that I am not going to be paying extra postage and extra everything to ship it from me to them. I want to just be able to add it onto their order and it comes straight from home office, right? That's something I didn't do at the beginning and I spent money out of pocket doing, and I learned the hard way. Don't want to do that, okay? So that's how I run my party. I've tried shorter, I've tried longer. This is kind of what works for me. I like the pre-party because it gives me a chance to kind of interact with them and get them going. I have key posts that I do, and I don't mind sharing those at all with you guys. Again, make it your own, and stuff. And then 5 days is about the length that I like to be able to get in both the amount of products or amount of seeds, recruiting, booking, whatever seeds I can get in there. And it helps me to get to know the people that are in the party. If it's a one-day party, then I don't have a lot of time to interact with them, to have messages with them. I very rarely book parties and get recruits from just the posts in the party. There's a lot of conversations going on behind the scenes via private messenger. That's where I get to know these ladies. When they make a comment about something, I message them and I thank you so much for being part of the party. I'm so glad you're here. And then I just build a relationship. And that is where the parties come from. That is where the recruits come from. And that is where the orders come from, because I'm building a relationship. Courtney, the girl that I learned a lot about Facebook parties from, her tip was, or her advice was, which is golden, is the fact that Facebook parties are not easier than a home party. They're different, right? And the goal with a Facebook party is you have to get these ladies to get to know you over a computer screen, right? And that, if you are not willing to get behind the computer screen and do videos and be goofy and let them get to see your personality, then it won't work for you, okay? Because reading words does not do it if they're not getting a mixture of your personality so they can hear your voice reading those words, and videos and the posting, combination of the two, okay? So that's kind of the meat. That's how I do my parties. Yeah, any questions, post them below.